Hey everybody, this is Pastor Jonathan Shelley from Steadfast Baptist Church, and I wanted to give you an update about our church location. We're actually unfortunately gonna have to move again for next year, and so obviously we've been protested, you know, like every single week for really years at this point, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna change anytime soon. Well, the reality is, you know, nobody really wants to lease to us, so it makes it very difficult. I am still working on a few options. We've been hit with a lot of legal fees and all kinds of different issues. If you really want to be a part of our church, it's never been a better time. Our church is growing. We have a lot of people that love the Lord, and everything's looking really up.
Everything's looking up, but you can't find anywhere to worship. You know, those damn libs in the background, they're illustrating this war on Christmas and Christians, yelling over this guy, this good Christian pastor that's just trying to spread the good word. It's disgusting. As a matter of fact, this whole thing started in February when he was kicked out of a different location. Then he went to this particular location now that he's now been kicked out of again. It keeps happening to him. Let's go to that instance in February.
I wanted to update people on our building situation. We received recently an adverse ruling against our church saying that we have violated our lease for what I preached, the sermons that we preached at this church, and that we have to leave our property. In Romans chapter number 1, it makes it very clear that men with men are worthy of death. And so our church has always believed that, it's always preached that, it's always taught that. But apparently that is in complete violation of Texas commercial leases. And you know, this is a really sad day for America. You know, some people would say, well, you're not being persecuted for preaching the gospel. But yes, I am. But let me make it clear, this litigation against us is very detrimental to not just me, but anybody. Anybody could potentially lose their lease, lose their money, lose their building for just having an unpopular opinion. They say that we're violent. They say that we're advocating violence towards people. I've never advocated violence towards any singular person. Now, of course, some of my sermon preaching taken out of context may sound like that.
He's just getting railroaded, you guys. He's never said anything violent towards any person at all. Come on, let's run this next video. This is this guy.
We need to be warned of this serpent seed, of the seed of the devil, these Jews that are out there, because they want to destroy everything that's holy and everything that's righteous. And in our culture, it is not acceptable to say anything negative about them. Haven't you heard about the Holocaust, Pastor Shelley? Yeah. Why do I care? You say, well, Adolf Hitler is evil. Absolutely. That guy was full of the devil. Okay, that guy was an antichrist figure. Absolutely.
I'm not a violent person. I've never wished for anybody to be murdered.
You know what, if Antichrist kills another Antichrist, I don't cry even 1 second. Well, did they kill 6 million? I doubt it. Only if we were lucky. But let me tell you something. If you're gonna be like Jesus, you have to do something. You have to preach against the Jews.
This guy's all over the place, but it's definitely the one definite point is hate Jewish folks, and you know, one deplorable person, antichrist person, somehow Adolf Hitler, is also killing other antichrist people, but he's okay with it. Hey, let's let this guy continue about how much he's non-violent. Let's go again. This is about gay folks.
I'm not a violent person. I've never wished for anybody to be murdered.
Look, there's only one group that enjoys that. It's the pride parades going up and down the street. Yeah. And you know, it's great when trucks accidentally go through those, you know, parades. I think only one person died, so hopefully we can hope for more in the future.
I'm not a violent person. I've never wished for anybody to be murdered.
If someone walks into a homo bar and shoots a bunch of homos and kills all of them, you know how many tears I shed for that? 0. And you know what? People that worship the devil, I don't care how many of them die. I don't care.
I'm not a violent person. I've never wished for anybody to be murdered.
You say, well, that's mean. Yeah, but the Bible says that they're worthy of death. You say, are you sad when die? No, I think it's great. I hope they all die. I would love it if every would die right now.
He doesn't preach violence, Waz, not at all. By the way, his attorney fees are up to like $42K. Let's look at this graphic real fast. The church moved around a bit before selling at this location in nearby Watauga, but Shelley's church still appealed the first eviction, keeping his legal tab open from earlier this year. In August, the judge upheld the landlord's decision and ordered Shelley's church to pay $42,000 in attorney's fees because he kept that one going. He's not hateful though. He just wants to find a church home to spew all this love. What's your thoughts, man?
Man, it's funny. This guy complained about the protest and he claims that you know what I love about those videos, JR? They don't show the crowds. It's clear that this guy doesn't have much of a flock or congregation. And he claims that they're growing in membership and all of that. Like this guy, anybody who's been to a popular church or, somebody, a preacher who's got, a lot of people trying to show up to his sermons, these people have charisma. They have the gift of gab. They have a way with words. This dude has the charisma of a thumbtack. That's why his church is failing. Obviously, the hate speech is not gonna help. The anti-Semitism, the homophobia is not gonna help him. But that kind of stuff hasn't stopped pastors in the past from becoming popular, if we're being real and honest. This guy he just doesn't have what it takes, JR. He's lacking the necessary abilities, if you will, when it comes to stirring the spirits of a congregation. Like I'm listening to this guy, I'm like, who wants to follow this dude?
Right, well the thing is the message a lot of times is very similar to people who are successful in, I guess creating their flock. Look, Donald Trump, except as you mentioned, the less and less charisma you have, which honestly, I don't see the charisma of Donald Trump, but people do. The less of that you have, the more hate you have to pump in order to facilitate that or make up for the difference in it. And we can see how much hate goes from there. There's many other instances from this same church of other people who are preaching up there saying horrific things like that. But he can't find a home. They're homeless right now and they're just looking for someplace while they're out lost in the wilderness, just like the Israelites, Sure.